Hello and welcome back to the 10th episode of my Rebuilding Brighton series. It seems like just the other day I was getting relegated from the Premier League and I can't believe that we've made it to the 10th episode in this series. Since you guys last met us, we haven't won a single game, unfortunately, and overall I'm not actually too disheartened by our result. A 2-2 draw against Everton and Wolves were the only points that we picked up. Manchester United was a good game, which we actually dominated on stats, but ended up losing 2-1. Again, against Arsenal, we dominated on stats and lost 2-0. The Burnley game was probably the only one that I'm actually disappointed with, where Chris Wood, the New Zealander, we don't mind New Zealanders scoring against us, but it would be ideal if he didn't score 4 against us. So going into Bournemouth, we do have quite a bit of work to do with our squad, and this is the team that we're going to be lining up with. I think that it's our strongest 11. Gray has picked up a little bit of a knock, so he is unavailable, unfortunately, but we're going to jump straight into the match and see if we can do a bit of damage. Katoudi was out for a couple of games, so our new defensive midfielder had to come in, and I wonder if he was a bit of a reason why we weren't playing as well as we could, because we all know Katoudi is our rock in midfield. He does so well every single game, and he's certainly one of the best players in our team. I think that he's managed to go up onto the icons list in the Brighton overall thing. I think I'm on the favoured personnel. I don't know why. All I did was get them relegated and then promoted again. I really just corrected my mistake and I've put them back in the exact same place where they were when I first started. So, I mean, if they want to give me some praise, I don't mind it, but I don't think it's exactly deserved. Going into this match, I think we're down in 14th position, which isn't the worst place we could be, and it is kind of where I'm expecting to finish near the end of the season, as we do have an opportunity. Boga looks to score his first goal for Brighton, but he shoots it straight at the goalkeeper, and he probably should have looked for a pass in that situation, but a good run nonetheless. And as I always say with Trossard, as long as you're shooting, eventually you will score, and he's playing in the exact same role and instructions as Trossard, so hopefully he can replicate a bit of form that Trossard did show last season. But with them getting shots like that, we might not have a chance to replicate that form. Very close to scoring there, and that was certainly a worrying sign. Our Nori left back has put a good ball in, and Willian scores his first goal in the league. He managed to score in the game in the Carabao Cup, I believe, and that is his first goal in the league, and that's what we want, getting him off the mark early. He hasn't been playing great for us, so that might give him a little bit of a confidence to do a bit better in the league. Unfortunately, we were knocked out of the Carabao Cup on penalties against Southampton. I think it was Cousins that missed the penalty. Wasn't too disappointed to be knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Southampton. I think that's the first time I've lost against them in this entire save, and that's probably the only thing I was disappointed in, but we don't really need to be going too far in that, and we'll focus more on the league and the FA Cup, in my opinion. I'll tell the boys not to get complacent out there. They are playing really well, and it looks like we are dominating against this Bournemouth side, who are down in 19th place, so we should be doing a lot better than them. This puts us up to 8 points from 7 matches. Not terrible, but not great either. We could certainly be doing a lot better, and Mayoral needs to start scoring some goals. He's already scored 1 this league, and yeah, it's not ideal, and I don't know if Iheanacho is actually the quality that we need for a second striker. I might bring him on now and see if he can prove me wrong. Hopefully he can, because often when you say something like that in Football Manager, they will go on the pitch and show you exactly what they have to show for it. Willian running up with the ball, probably one of the silly highlights that they give you when you make a substitution, and yes, we are going to make that substitution now. Iheanacho coming on for Mayoral. Hopefully he can get his first goal of the season to get him off the mark and maybe push for a starting place, because it is still up to full grabs. Mayoral's not doing amazing this year, and there is certainly going to be some fierce competition to see who can get that spot. Bellingham has come on quite a lot this season so far, and I wasn't actually expecting him to have that much of an impact in our squad, and he seems to be making a lot of appearances and not playing too badly, so I think as long as I keep playing him, he should develop as a player, and hopefully he can break that up to that 3-star current ability and actually break into the first team. with 3 minutes of additional time. Pretty bland second half, but we do have one final chance. Please tell me that Bournemouth are not going to equalise. We really need this result for our form. Buffel puts in a ball to Cook, and they take a shot, and it's come in. Wilson is offside, thank goodness. Oh no, I got so disheartened there. We really needed that goal to not go in for our season. Give us a little bit more confidence. Onana should be clearing the ball long here. Just as he does, Cousins right down the middle, easy pass, we're running up the pitch, and it is full time. There's confirmation of the offside, miles offside, not even close. And we're pretty happy with the result there. We'll tell the boys that we're very happy with the game, and that's 3 points that we didn't have before this match, and it puts us up into 13th position. The second game of the episode is going to be against Chelsea, one of the hardest sides that we could come up against. 5th in the table, and we all know how good this Chelsea 11 is, especially this far into the save, with a lot of really good youngsters. This is the side that we're going to play. Willian is coming up against his former side, and hopefully he can prove to them that they should have never let him go. And I think that he will be able to do something for us in this match. He needs to show his quality, otherwise he is not going to be starting for much longer, because Demarai Gray is currently on the bench, and he's not a player that deserves to be on the bench at all. He's picked up a knock, so that's why he's going to be on the bench for this match, but obviously he will be fighting for the spot unless Willian performs in this match. We're going to tell the boys that we owe Chelsea after the last time and get straight into the game. We have done really well against the top 6 clubs, the big 6, we all know who they are. And I really do think that this is probably a game that we should be able to do quite well in. Against Arsenal, we were unlucky, and against Manchester United, we were unlucky. I think we're overdue to get a couple of points against big clubs. We haven't picked up a single point against the top 6 so far this season, so it would be a really nice way to get one back over Willian's former teammates by getting the first points against a big club in this save. We're actually on the attack now, and Willian is on the ball, playing it out to Sanchez, who looks to play it back, and we are playing build-up play really well. Mayoral is through, and he scores, and Willian gets a goal. Assist, and that is Mayoral's second goal of the season. That is what we like to see. That will give him a lot of confidence, picking up a knock in training, I believe, and he still shows that he can do it nonetheless. Willian with the assist, going up against his former side. That's exactly what we want to see from him. Scoring and getting assists is exactly what we want. And that will keep him in the side, as I was just talking about how he needs to prove himself and prove that he is good enough to play in this 11. And he certainly has done that there. Demarai Gray waiting patiently on the bench for his chance. And I know that once it comes, he will take it. Chelsea almost bounced straight back there. Mason Mount's shot cleared off the line, and we were lucky there. We need to be very careful, because there's some amazing attacking players in there. Belotti, Depay, Pulisic, Mount, all of those men, the front 4, can all hit super hard, and we need to keep a close eye on them. Our defence has been solid this season, and I'm very happy with the way that Bailly and Vallejo are linking up. I'm not sure if Vallejo's actually doing that amazingly well, and White has definitely got a shout to come on whenever we need him to. 3.5 star potential, current ability, exactly the same as Vallejo, and I'm sure he would do an amazing job in centre-back alongside his former partner Bailly. And going into half-time, we are very happy with it, but we're going to tell them not to get complacent, because we are only a goal up, and they have the same amount of shots as us now. We should be dominating possession with this tactic, yes we are, and that's what we like to see, but we need to create more chances, and it seemed to fizzle out near the end of the first half. But I think we do have a chance here, as Sanchez looks to play it in. Mayoral with the ball, playing it back to Sanchez, and he finds Campuzano, who shoots and scores, and that is exactly what we want to see. Campuzano with his second of the season, the exact same amount of goals as our striker. That's only a little bit concerning. Sanchez with his first goal contribution of the season, I believe, and that is a really good way to go 2-0 up against a side that we really weren't expecting to do very well against this game. I would have taken a draw. I would have taken any sort of points, but a 2-0 lead is perfect, and I'm very stoked with the boys' performance. I'm going to make a substitution now, though. And it will be Gray coming on for Trossard, who's had a bit of a quiet game, but I always know that Trossard can pop up and score those goals. As I always say, if he keeps shooting, eventually he is going to score them, and he certainly knows how to score the goals. And I think he's shown that in this league already. I think he scored one, or maybe even two. Definitely scored one because it was an absolute screamer, and I can't forget that goal to save my life. Here we go, we're going to make another substitution as Hudson Wahongi, that's a New Zealand football player, Hudson-Odoi, comes on. He will certainly be a man we need to keep an eye on. Great player in the Football Manager who has a lot of potential. Gosh, if Hudson Wahongi was in the Chelsea side, we would be winning about 4-0. Love that man. They played so well in my Wellington Wanderers series. If you haven't seen that, check that out. I've got a playlist in the playlist section of my channel. 5 more minutes to go. Going back on the topic of the game, I think we should be able to run down the clock here. And that is exactly how it ended. Campuzano with a man-of-the-match performance to help us get a 2-0 win against one of the best teams in the country, potentially even one of the best teams in Europe. Chelsea, we did not expect that going into that match. 2 wins in this episode. You don't get to see me say that very often, and it puts us up into 8th place. Obviously we'll shoot down the table a little bit after the teams put us back down after they play their games, but nonetheless we're still very happy to be in that position to end the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed, because we need to keep the channel growing, and so that you guys don't miss a single episode in the future. And I'll see you all later.